Hello everybody, we are back with a new video addressed to professionals, which is called How to Find Back Your Employees' Adherence to Your Corporate Culture. It is quite difficult for an employer when the employees don't feel a sense of adherence to the corporate culture, because what usually follows is a lower staff retention, a lack of long-term projection in the company, a sense of growing unfairness over the smallest subject, and reacting behaviors that may seem excessive from the employer's point of view. Having employees adhere to the corporate culture is consequently an essential element to preserve or re-establish when there is a drift, in order to give more fluidity to discussions, attain a better work atmosphere, and thus improve everyone's productivity and their will to keep going. I will not talk about how to maintain the employees' adherence to your corporate culture, because if your employees already project themselves and stay in your company, it means that you knew how to implement the principles within your internal processes which maintain a work atmosphere that is favorable to the individual expansion and to a more efficient productivity for each and everyone. So keep doing what you do. Although it happens despite the efforts and the will of the management that employees turn around from the corporate culture, creating, among others, the effects that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, and consequently creating a cost increase for the company, because it costs money to replace people, to train them before they can reach the necessary operational level they need, etc., etc. So, in order to correct things and allow for a return towards the alignment to the corporate culture, we must first find the reasons. Solutions differ completely depending on the reasons, of course, and the application of these solutions, in order for them to be efficient, needs to be done according to the exact ratio of their correlated reasons. I'll explain myself with an example. A lack of adherence to the corporate culture can have 40% of its reasons in link with a past traumatic event that the employer underestimated. Here, the type of traumatic event is related to the corporate culture, of course, and it relates, for example, to an event which showed to the employees that the corporate values that were showcased were, in fact, just talk, and a sense of treason was born from this traumatic event. The type of solutions to be implemented in this case will revolve around proving the values of the company in order to get rid of the suspicion and put things right with the specific people who were affected by the traumatic event. The lack of adherence to the corporate culture can also have 15% of its reasons in link with a negative projection done by a handful of individuals. Here I refer to a few people who have a past, a negative experience, which can be punctual or keep repeating itself inside the company, and who will make their colleagues join their discontent, more usually unconsciously. So for these 15%, these solutions will consist in identifying these individuals and allow an open and objective discussion in order to ease the situation. And in this case, the objective discussion can more easily be attained with the help of a third party who is external to the organization. The lack of adherence to the corporate culture can also have 25% of its reasons in link with a gap between the values and the ways certain internal business units work. Here, the employees will recognize the sincerity of the corporate values, but they will get tired of the internal unit operations or processes which do not reflect these values. So the solutions here will be an organizational redesign in order for everything to be aligned. And for the remaining 20% of the lack of adherence to the corporate culture, it could be related to the stiffness of the company. The values are present and recognized, but some aspects, such as career advancement, attaining the objectives, salary, etc., are too partitioned in order to allow a long-term projection by the employees in the company. Here, the solutions will also be to identify these aspects and their importance ratio in order to define and implement a new organizational strategy. So, here were the most common reasons for this kind of problem. Of course, the reasons and their ratios will differ according to companies, but be careful. The more time goes by between observing a drift and implementing the remediation, the bigger the disinterest or rejection of the company. And obviously, the harder it will be to correct things. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it shone some light for you. I wish you a wonderful day and see you soon.